Welcome to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines, coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by my guy Mo Nawara in the Midwest, and Nate Weitzer out there on the East Coast. And we are looking at a Monday night slate here in the MLB. A few things we like. I don't want to call it the world's most fun or greatest slate ever, so I won't. But we do have a few things in these night games that we can get into. As we know, we are going to be bringing you this stuff from the evening and nightcap games so that we can make sure to get these videos out to you all season long. So make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page and continue to follow along with us. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or a DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com. Find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for Monday night. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, there are two day games here. Royals plus 145 at St. Louis. And the Angels in a toss-up with the White Sox. I know Mo liked the under and 8 runs there with Dylan Cease going. Then we get into the night games. D-backs plus 130 at the Marlins. Twins minus 155 at O's. Yanks in a toss-up at the Blue Jays. Braves, this line did just come up, plus 115 at the Mets. Potential pitchers duel there. Mariners in a toss-up at the Astros, and then the Rays are minus 168 at Oakland. But yeah, looking at the opening lines here, our best bet is Minnesota at Baltimore. Not really a huge leap there. Minnesota won 9 of their last 10, hitting the cover off the ball right now. They've drawn 35 walks in that span. They're facing a pitcher in Tyler Wells, who has not been consistent with any of his pitches, not in the zone too often, allowing 14 hits over 13 innings so far. And Chris Paddock going for the Twins is pretty reliable in terms of, he's looking a lot better this year, not allowing much hard contact at all with a 4.5% barrel rate. And drawing a lot of chases, right? 75% outside the zone when contact is made. Baltimore is dead last in runs per game. Minnesota scoring a ton right now as they go on this hot streak. So I wouldn't even hate taking the run line if you want some juice there. Baltimore's bullpen atrocious. So if this starts to get out of the way, go the way of the Twins, it could go a long way in terms of them staying hot.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the run line either here. Get a road team in a game where I think there's going to be a fair amount of scoring. Like you said, the offense for the Twins, it's really finally waking up. It took long enough. They had me worried for a little bit there. But if they keep this up, I'm going to be feeling really good about my season bets on them. So it's good to see them picking it up. Not basically just coincided back with Buxton getting back in the lineup. I mean, he's been unreal. And Chris Paddock, I mean, he's kind of a guy who he cost me some money the last couple of years. He really has frustrated, just underperforming his peripherals and his previous skills that he showed when he was a rookie. I can't recall if he won Rookie of the Year. I know he was like top 3. But yeah, I'm wondering if he's kind of back now. His issue has kind of always been that just he threw fastball and changeup and didn't really have a reliable breaking pitch. I'm not saying he's coming out with Clayton Kershaw's curveball or slider now, but he is throwing a curve more than 20% of the time. So at least he's got some confidence in it, and he's just giving hitters another look, which I think is really important and might be one of the reasons he was kind of under pitching his peripherals the last couple of years. When you're a starter and you've only got 2 pitches, they better be just like absolute dynamite pitches. And he's really, really attacking hitters really aggressively. 60% zone rate, which is that's like you're getting on the border of you're throwing too many strikes. It's like he's not able to strike anybody out hardly right now because batters are making contact too early, but they're not making good contact. That's always been a problem for him as well, I think. And yeah, the contact quality, like you said, it has dropped. And if he's back to a good pitcher, then I'm feeling pretty good about the Twins here. And we don't like the O's, obviously. Like you said, Tyler Wells not a good pitcher. And man, the O's defense has really been honestly just awful the last few days. And yeah, I think if they keep booting balls around the diamond, they're not going to have any shot right now with a pitching deficit and an offense deficit here against the Twins.
Yeah, and you said it. There's really no area of this matchup that you feel as though Baltimore has any kind of edge. I think Chris Paddock, has been coming along a lot better, especially this season. You mentioned that lack of good contact against his pitches, better than 50% ground ball rate right now for him as well. And yeah, that offense coming alive big time for the Twins, despite Correa still not really even putting up numbers that are respective of his previous years as well. So there still could be a bit of a ceiling to reach for them on offense as well for Minnesota, despite still being in top 5 in most offensive categories over the course of the last 3 or 4 games or so. But let's move on here to another one that we like on this slate here, as Nate calls them, our darling fish in Miami, as they continue to stick around in that NL East. We've got Zach Gallen taking on Pablo Lopez here at home. So Nate, give me something there for them. We've got Miami minus 155, as you mentioned at the top of the show. Do you feel good enough about the fish in this matchup to go ahead and hit that?
It's our darling Marlins, obviously. Don't you know how to write a headline? But yeah.
Not a copywriter.
We've been riding them a lot in this podcast. And yeah, they've come through winning 7 of their last 8, covering the run line in 5 of their last 7. This is not a cupcake matchup, though, against the Diamondbacks' best young pitcher, Zach Gallen. Who very well might be elite. Is Pablo Lopez elite as well? I mean, it remains to be seen, but so far this season, he has been just that in the right matchups. I mean, his 3rd straight shutout came against the Nationals, which is a terrible offense, and Arizona couldn't be worse, dead last in the majors, hitting 181 this year. And then Gallen on the other end, basically not allowing any sort of loud contact with an 8% line drive rate. I think there's a way to just bet the success on both these starting pitchers. I mean, you're getting minus 150 to take under 3 runs in the first 5 innings. Not great odds there, but if you really believe in both these pitchers, under 2.5 runs at plus 125, worth a look. It's 6.5 runs for the game. Either of these offenses could get 1 or 0, certainly in this wrong kind of matchup for offensive production in the spacious Marlins Park that we always talk about. And I mean, when push comes to shove, yeah, we gotta like the fish to pull out a close game. if Gallen doesn't wind up throwing a complete gem, we get to that Diamondbacks bullpen, and definitely trust Miami more at home to pull that out. There's just the money line is not generating a ton of juice.
Yeah, Gallen's awesome. He just got the Dodgers pretty good, I believe. So, yeah, not a pitcher I'm very excited to fade. But on the lines, actually, we just wrote up an article with some futures, and we liked Pablo Lopez a little bit for a look at the SI. If you can get 35-1, I don't know if that number is still hanging around, but yeah, I think if you made me choose between under 3 at minus 150 or taking the plus money under 2.5, I'd rather take the 2.5 as well. Pretty reasonable chance with these just uninspiring offenses, very good pitchers, great pitchers park, not a spot where I'm expecting too much offense, but yeah, the total is very low. So, yeah, a spot that I'm not really looking to bet, I don't think. But if the line dropped a little bit on Miami, I think I would take a shot at them. I had it pretty close to a bet earlier when I was looking over everything.
Yeah, I mean, the under 6.5 for the game is, plus money still there for you, plus 105. I know it's super low. I mean, if you believe in the bullpens of these two teams, I mean, the Diamondbacks have been showing definitely some progress from last year in their relief pitching so far. I mean, top 8 in a number of good categories for them. And yeah, I mean, both of these guys projected in this matchup, according to a lot of projections, specifically in this matchup to go, about 6 each or so. So if you do believe in that, I think there's some opportunity for the unders there as well. But let's move on once more to a game that I think we're trying to talk unders potentially somehow. But I don't know, when you're talking about the Yankees and the Blue Jays, I don't really, under would be something that we would look for some value if we think that. But, both of these teams definitely looking quite impressive on offense. So, I mean, I guess it's a matter of if you believe in Ross Stripling or not. And Mo, I'm not sure if you do or not yet, but where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, basically where I stand is I'm trying to figure out if Ross Stripling's kind of jump is real, basically. He was a pretty good pitcher back in like 2016, 2017. He was a guy when he was with the Dodgers, I thought was a solid league average or better starter, honestly. And then pretty much when he came to Toronto, he hasn't been good at all. He was so not good that he basically hasn't been able to keep a rotation spot. So this year, though, he's kicked his velocity back up to kind of his peak, I guess, because it's kind of crazy. He was 27 pretty much when he kind of broke out in the bigs. But that was when he was throwing harder, and he's throwing that hard again, back up to 92, which doesn't sound great. But I mean, he's been throwing 91 the last couple of years, even 90 in 2019. So getting some of that velocity back and getting a lot more ground balls this year, up to 50% from 37 ish, 35, 39 the last couple of years. Like, that's big for him because, he doesn't have big strikeout stuff. So people are going to get on base. And if he can knock some of these base runners out with double plays and stuff like that, it's really good for him, especially he's not allowing any hard contact this year, down to 84 on the exit velocity, which, dude, people have been just mashing his stuff last year. Really below average on the contact quality, 90 mile per hour exit velocity, 91 the year before that. Just hasn't been able to control the contact. And then the swinging strikes are back up, really supporting that he is pitching better. But, it's still like too early for us to really say for sure. And he hasn't faced some of the most inspiring offenses. Like, he had about half his innings came against Oakland, Texas. So I do want to see him keep it up, basically. But I would say if he is making a leap back to like being a pretty good pitcher, then under is probably pretty good here because Jordan Montgomery is a good pitcher for the Yankees. And then we know the Yankees pen is awesome, right? And also the Jays pen's been really good so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I think you can actually fade this Yankees offense a little bit, coming off sweeps of the O's and Royals and the Indians offense, which we've which we've overvalued.
You be careful over there.
Overvalued early in the season. And that's basically the only way they've gotten over these run totals is by hitting such a high home run rate against awful pitching staffs. When they play the Blue Jays, that hasn't really been the case. These teams have gone under in 8 of their last 11 meetings, and it's kind of a misnomer. I mean, yeah, Josh saying like these teams are such offensive juggernauts is not as much. I mean, what makes the Blue Jays good now is that they are a balanced team. They're not hitting the cover off the ball, and Jordan Montgomery's not allowing anything. 3.5% barrel rate. He's pretty much like a walking quality start. He kind of goes into what this matchup with away from the Blue Jays' strengths by playing, pitching to contact, but not allowing hard contact. It's hard to really just light this dude up is what I'm saying. And yeah, Stripling, I think, can do his job now that he knows exactly what it is. 4 or 5 innings, get to that bullpen bridge. And I think we'll have a close competitive game between two of the best teams in baseball. And that usually means, 5-6 runs, not 9, which you would need for the over.
Yeah, it's fair. I think you want to look at some of the splits too for Montgomery, and I mean the Blue Jays obviously are full of plenty of right-handed hitters, but yeah, eight runs is plenty, and some, like we said, some a place are going to get value because of sort of the public image and perception of these two teams coming in. So this is definitely a spot where we can go ahead and fade that public perception here. But that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page. Got a pretty big Monday night slate here, so we want to continue to get these videos out to you. And until we see you next, happy betting.